Natalie, Starfish here with Sherlock, and I wanted to show you what this little quilt that we're working on looks like right now. We could call it done. So I've spread this out, and I've got a corgi, so you got for size. So what we've got, we've sewn a panel on top of fleece. So we've got fleece on the back, the panel on the front, and we have done the fringe. So, oops, let's see if we can get the fringe over here. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about the crazy camera work. Here we go. We got the fringe here. So here's the fringe. The back looks like this. This is fun. What we're going to do next is I'm going to do some outline quilting. So it's really more like outline. I don't know if I really call it quilting, but we'll call it quilting. So I'm going to go like around the buildings and around and around and around. The idea is to give it a little bit of tactileness. Do you have to do this for a blanket? You do not. All right. What do you think, Sherlock? Do we have to do that for the blankie? What do you think? Say no. No, but I do like blankies. By the way, let me show you his blankie. Here. Scoot over for a second. Oh, get back up here. You're not done. This is Sherlock's blankie. Now he's got his lamb chops. 1, 2, 3 lamb chops because he loves lamb chops, don't you? Uh-oh, we still have a squeaky in that one. And here's a little corgi blanket that I made him. And does he like to chew on it? Yep. He also likes to chew on the edges. This is another reason why you put binder on it, so that you can go back and take the binder off and put a new binder on. Pretty cool, huh? All right, so let's go do some sewing, shall we? And let's see. Are you going to come over to the next room? All right, he's going to join us too. So here we go. Off we go. Sorry for the crazy camera work. All right, so here we are. We were basing all of this on a blanket my sister made me. So this one's fleece, both sides are fleece. I just love this blanket. So this one's the one I'm making here is for grandkids, and the idea with having the rows around it, which is why I picked this panel, so you got the rows that goes all the way around, so that they can drive little cars on there. How fun is that? Okay, so here we go, sewing again. Sewing with Starfish. Da, da, da. Let's bring the camera over here a little bit better. Ooh, sorry. All right. Are we in it? Okay, so we're just gonna start outlining and see where we go. Do we want to start with the yellow submarine? We want to finish with the yellow submarine. Okay, so let's actually start on this corner. So we got a bird house. No, not bird, excuse me. That is it. We got a tree house. We're gonna start with the tree house. Let's see how we can get this going here. So we can see the sewing part over there. So, all right, so we're gonna start at the bottom of the tree. Come around the house. Okay, all right. Kind of seeing where we start. Okay. Now I ironed this again right before I started, so we've got it's nice and flat. Because I'm going to be going around, it might buckle in the center, but if I don't put anything in the center, you're not really going to see the buckling. So I'm not going to worry about that too much. All right, there's my petal. Do I need a different size of stitch? I am going to make the stitching a little bit bigger. We'll just do that. That's fine. Okay, I'm just going to give it a little bit of a anchor. So I'm going forward and I'm going back just a couple stitches. So we're going to do the tree. I don't know if you can see the tree. All right. This can get a little bit crazy. Okay, we got a nice turn. I love sewing. I hope that I'm encouraging you to sew. You know, if you got some questions, you can put them in the comments. I will get back with you on those. send me pictures of what you're doing. That's cool too. Always love to see other people's projects. Ooh, we got a little really weird roof line here. We wanna, kind of fake that one out. I didn't do like super sharp turns on that, but that's okay. And cut off the tree and go down. There we go. So just a little bit of outlines. All right, now I'm gonna just keep, instead of cutting and going and cutting and going, I'm just gonna keep sewing. So on this one, I'm just gonna go around the edge. Let's go back down. So I've got, we can really see that from there. Maybe I need to move the camera. Let's move the camera over to where you can see from my side. Let's do that. All right, so you're seeing kind of how I'm seeing. There we go, hi. Okay, so I've got this edge. I'm gonna kind of go down around that. Make sure I get my frilly out. So I don't want to sew that. We're going to come back up to this seam that I did. And we are going to go to this house over here. So let's get over there. And around the tree. Oh my goodness. So make it nice and flat. I don't want to flip anything over. So you can feel it. You can feel that it's nice and flat. I just have the fabric, the cotton panel, and then the fleece. So it's pulling too, but I'm also kind of walking it myself. Oh. And you know, it's always, I've been able to sew since I was on my mom's lap. I don't remember being able to not sew. And I think one of the weirdest things that she's ever told me was that she sewed her finger. So I would rather not do that. But I will tell you this. Let's talk about that for a second. If you do sew your finger, you'll stop right away. So you'll have your finger in there. You don't want to pull it. You have to back the needle back out. So you can either take the sewing machine with you to the emergency room, or you can suck it up and back the needle back out. Yeah, but she did sew her finger. Please don't do that. There's little guards on here to kind of help that. So, yeah, I just gave you like a horrible picture. Sorry about that. But you do have to be, whenever you're working with all that stuff, safety is first. So please be safe. All right. Now if you notice, I'm pulling the foot up and back down, up and down. This is what is here. This is, that lifts the foot, and then that puts the foot back down. And then before I turn, I'm making sure that the needle is down. So the needle's down. When I lift it, I don't lose my spot, right? It's still holding onto the fabric. So it's a really good habit to get yourself into is when you're turning, needle down, needle down, needle down, needle down. It's such a habit that I have. I sometimes forget that I'm doing it. Okay, so what do we want to do? We want to go around the trunk? Around the truck? Let's go back around the buildings. Let's go around the buildings and see how we look. So I'm just going to go right back over the same spot that I was at. And do this next building. One more. There we go. Boop. Oh, I can see my long arm people. Oh, if you have a long arm machine, you could do this really easily. Like, yeah, but I don't have a long arm machine. But I also don't have something that takes up my, entire garage. Ooh, that's gonna go right through the ladder. Do you care? Yeah, we do. So let's not go through the ladder. I'm going to turn that back around so we're not going through the fire truck ladder. It's like cutting off Bluey's face here. We don't want to do that either. There's Sherlock barking at the neighbors. Are they outside, Bubbles? Sherlock, is the neighbors outside? We a little too fast for that corner. That's all right. Yeah, don't look too bad. It's a little outside the lines, but that's all right. Okay, we're gonna come down and let's see here. Let's take a look at what we got. We're gonna come down and go across the bridge and then come up back up to the next building. So, can you see that? Come down, oh, over here. Down, across the bridge and then back up over here. Okay. I'm going to do the dark line underneath the bridge. Because actually, under the brick, there's this. Let me see if I can show you. This dark line here, that's what I'm going to follow. Oh, that didn't sound good, did it? Am I out of thread? No? I'm good. Okay. I don't know what that sound was. It was weird. Okay, now we don't want to cut the bunny off, so we're going to go around the bunny's ear up here. Now this is for kids, so you got to try to think like kids. Would a kid want you to cut off the bunny's ear? No. Or would your kid self, would you want to cut off the bunny's ear? No, we do not. I guess we could have come over by the mountains, huh? There's all kinds of things to outline, you know. As I'm going around, I'm just making decisions as I'm going around. What am I outlining? We're going to go all the way around. Flat, 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 flat. Flat, flat, flat. Foot down. We got a little bit of a curve here. And then we got a very curvy top. Okay. Take this a little bit slower. Ah! Whew. Okay. Oh yeah, we did better on that one. Going slower will give you a little bit more control. Going faster will get it done faster. What's the choice? I don't know. That sound you're hearing is me using the pedal. So, plunk, 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 plunk. Oh, look at that elephant. Isn't he cute? He's a cutie pie. All right, let's scoot all this up here a little bit more so I can hold on to it. All right, nice and flat. Yes. I'm getting closer to the... Oh, he's growling now. Sherlock, what are you growling at, Bubbles? What you growling at, babies? I know. The whole world needs yelled at, doesn't they? Are they making too much noise? Yeah. Sometimes he talks back to me. Oh, we got curve, 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 curve. Curve, curve, curve. Oh, man. All right, let's get back over here. All right, now what we can do at this point. So we got a stop sign down here. We've got a, what is that, a fat dog? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Skunk, maybe? Skunk riding a bicycle? Riding a bike? We've got a tortoise down there with his little helmet on. We've got a pomegranate tree. And we got another house over here. How about what are we gonna do here? We're gonna cut across this mountain here and then get back on this house. Go down and come over to this house. Ooh, look at the alligator on a skateboard. Okay, all right, let's do that. All right, we're flat. Nice and flat, we're good. Okay. Turn it over. Let's get this mountain. Puts this in the middle of the roof. Okay. All right. Now let's take that over here. All right. We're doing a lot of turning on that one. We went, it was a 270-degree turn. Okay. How are we doing? Up the house. Oh, I kind of turned on the side, didn't it? Huh. Okay. Flat, 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 flat. So, is it exact? No, this one is not an exact one. If we were doing, if we were trying to make optical illusions we want it spot on, okay? But remember I told you I was gonna, how to make it look good without being too crazy. Put the pedal over here. So all I did was I rolled the needle back one. It landed front, landed one stitch out that way. I wanted to go back, so I did. I moved it back, and then I'm going to turn. All right, how are we doing here? Pretty good. Okay, flat, 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 flat. Flat, 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 flat. How are we doing here? What do you think, Sherlock? Hmm? You gonna say hi? Can you see him right there? He is right there. Such a cutie pie. Did you know you're a cutie pie? Yeah. I was born a cutie pie. Happens to all corgis. Ooh, let's go back up. Let's go back one. Okay. Needles down because I'm turning. And da 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 da. Flat, 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 flat. So that quilt that was on my bed, I made that. That is a stripes and poaches in. Oh my goodness, what am I gonna do here? Let's take a look. So we got a car. We got a bus. We got a bus with all kinds of. Do we want to go all the way around the bus? We do. We do. Let's make the. Or do we want to go over the top and then we'll come back around and do the road? Let's do that. We're gonna go over the top. Well, we'll come down to the road and we're gonna go. Yeah, we're gonna come down the road. Turn back around, go over the top of the bus, and then I'm going to come back around and do the roads, and then I'll be underneath the bus. Okay. Flat, 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 flat. So what? So what would happen if I didn't have it flat? If I folded something under it, I would end up sewing the other fabric underneath it, and you have to go in and take some stitches in. So it's not a big deal to take out stitches, it's just kind of a pain. And you want to do it very gently. And I'm sure I'll have a project where we can show you how to take the stitches out of something. Hopefully it won't be this one. Ugh. Okay, let's get the whole thing turned. Because we're not turned enough. Here we go. Okay, so we're gonna kind of get this little spot here and then come back around and do that. So, get an idea what the back looks like. So the back has kind of got some different patterns on it. I don't know if you can really see that. So it'll have a little bit. It's not as tactile as the fleece itself, but the front is. And it kind of just shows where you're at, which is really, just gives it more depth. So I don't know if you see I got the outline of the house, this house here. We'll take a look at it when we pull it all up. Just want to kind of give you an idea as we're going how cool it's looking. Okay, let's get one more turn. Flat, flat, flat. And past the tree, up the house. Okay. What do you think, Sherlock? He's on patrol. Patrolling the neighborhood. Okay, now we're gonna go back around a little bit of this part that we've already done with the bus. We get back to over here with the house. So there's a little chimney right there. I'm just gonna cut the chimney off. What? Did she just say that? She did. But I am going to make the point on the house. Point. Now, can we go back and do all the balloons? We could. Are we going to? No. You know, I like doing projects until they're not fun anymore. This is fun, but I imagine trying to do those round balloons without a long arm. A long arm would be a lot easier to do, and I think it would be fun. So that'd be a good question for my friend Bethany. She's got a long arm. Do you like doing round things with the, like balloons? Which Bethany, I think she would say anything that has to do with sewing is fantastic with her. Okay, so now we are going, let's see, we have got a little fox on a bridge. Let's kind of do that bridge thing again where we went over the bridge like this. Oh, look at, there's a penguin. Aw, there's a penguin. That is really cool. This is just such a creative. Let's see, the bridge goes to there, okay. We're gonna do the same thing that we did with the road where we did that little dark line under the bridge. So it's, this dark line is what I'm gonna follow. And the sewing or the quilting just gives it a little depth. It's not very thick. This is nice and thin. We're talking about one piece of polar fleece on top of one 100% cotton panel. And it's the newer fabric, so the new fabrics that they have coming out, really, you know, I want to say the last 20, 30 years are so much stronger than fabrics were before, and I'm going to show you some pretty cool tricks and other videos about that. This one is just a real simple one. Foot up, flat, flat, flat. I turn completely around. I'm not gonna backwards that. I just turn it around so I can come back around. I prefer to go straight. Like driving, do you want to drive backwards or do you want to drive forward? You can go backwards. It's just a lot more work. Yeah. Plus your brain has to think backwards, I think. So, all right. Flat, flat, flat. It's just not feeling very flat. Okay, now it does. Up. So you can notice I'm not really paying attention to the stuff that's outside the needle area, like this is getting bunched up or that's getting bunched. I don't care, but I care about this part very much. That's the part that's important. Oh, look, two monkeys riding a tandem bicycle. How cute. All right, let's not sew across his hand. All right, back over the little red house here. Well, we brought a lot of it over here, didn't we? Okay, try that again. Okay. So, I don't know if you can see that. When I'm pulling it over, can you see the needle moving? It'll move itself back to where it's supposed to be. You can move the needle back and forth. I've actually got it kind of off to the side. I've got a foot that's not the center foot, it's just off to the side. It's a little bit easier for quilting to have that kind of a foot on there, which is why I've got it on there. But there are different, feet look different, just so you know. Okay, what are we gonna do? We're gonna come out around here, we're gonna do the light, get the corner. So we're back to we're in a new corner. Do the lighthouse, come around here, and we will, how are we gonna get over to this other house? We're gonna come up, how about we worry about that when we get there? Okay. We are thinking way too far ahead. But it's the corner. Like, how are we going to put it on there? So one of the other things that happens with a long arm is you don't get this, where you have a whole bunch of fabric stuck underneath the arm. When you have a long arm, that space comes back to you. And that's when you're talking about doing a big quilt, or you're sewing a big project, that's one of the reasons why you need someone that has a long arm sewing machine. So I thought I'd show that to you. But we worked around it, or we squished it. All right, so let's go over the bike to the, what do you call that, the rim? Bicycle tire rim. No, that's not the rim. The fender. We'll go over the fender. Along the road. All right, we are lighthouse down to the corner. Make sure we got our frills. So this is especially important because we're going to be doing a lot of turning at this point. We want to make sure that our frills are nice and flat because we are sewing very close to the frills. This is very easy for a frill to buckle under on us, and we don't want to do that. Okay, so we got all the way down to the corner. Let's come back up. And we will go to the edge of the lighthouse and come back up on this side. Oh wow, we got completely turned around, didn't we? Okay. Look at it, it's all in my lap. It happens. Okay, back up the lighthouse. We're having some problems with this, aren't we? Okay, flat, flat, flat. Flat, flat. Ooh, hey, we got the yellow submarine. All right, we got a tail here. We're gonna kind of go around this little tail. So there's inanimate objects we want to. Oh, okay, let's go the other way then. So, remember that long arm thing I was talking about? That was one of those issues. Kind of going around the tail here. Oop. Okay, let's go around this way. Sometimes you have to do 3 lefts to make a right. Is that how? No, 3 rights to make a left? 3 rights to make a left? Anyway. Okay, why are we being so slow? My plugged in? Back over there. We were thinking about this before. All right, how? Okay, let's finish the lighthouse. This way. And we got a flag. Okay, it's gonna be a little weird. Do I care? Nope. I'm chopping the flag off. Now, what are we going to do? Are we going to end this? We're going to end this here. So, and we're going to pop in another spot. That is how we'll solve it. Back. So I went up a couple stitches. I go back a couple stitches, and then we're going to go my snippers, which will give me thread on the back side. I'm going to go ahead and trim that. So you can trim at the very end if you want to. It's always good to go and look at all your thread anyway. What do we got going on here? Huh. We got a little weird with this, didn't we? What happened? I don't know. All right, let's just go ahead and trim this up. Look okay? Yeah, looks great. Okay, so how are we going to get back over to there? We are, and there's our yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine. Yellow submarine, yellow submarine. Okay, we'll just start at the house. There we go. That will solve all that, huh? Okay, so, nice and flat. We are. Okay, put the foot back down. We are gonna couple stitches over. 2, 3, 4. That's fine. Back. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's very slow, this back stitch, which it should be because we're going backwards. How's it going, Bobo? Okay. Here. Flat, flat, flat. Yep, we are. Okay. And you know, you can see that you can go back and you can outline for a long time, not a long time, outline whatever you want. You can say you're done for a while, then go and add some more. Oh, let's go get this thread over. There's the top one, which is always going to be a little bit longer than the bottom one. There we go. Short little bottom one. Boop. Okay. Oh my God. Look at that Bluey. Isn't he cute? Oh. Alright, so I'm going to upload this one as a variation. So, down the road. Alright, we got an elephant in front of a church with the church bells. Oh my goodness, that's so cute. So cute. Hello, Nellyphant. Hello, Nelly. All elephants should be named Nelly. That's my rule. Okay, I'm making stuff up. And we got a tail. We're going to cut across the tail, yes, because it's a little itty bitty teeny tiny elephant tail. And that would be really, really, really hard to get that little tiny tail. All right. Whoop. Excuse me. Oh, we want to turn a little bit more. Flat, flat, flat. Are we nice and flat? Yes, we are. Okay. This is adorable. This is adorable. All right, we're gonna cut the flag off again. There we go. Yes. Okay. Slope. How we doing? We're coming around. Back down. Oh, I love creating. I love creating. It's so much fun. This is something this beautiful and pretty. Down the road. Around. Back up the pink house. Back into that one, because that's going to be a lot of pushing. Okay, so it's not far. We are going to go straight back on this. Make sure I'm pushing the right button. Okay, there we go. That solves that problem right there. So remember I told you I don't want to go backwards, but sometimes it's the best way to do it. So if it's the best way to do it, well, then go backwards. That's what I think anything creative, you're always making decisions, which is why it's so fun to do this, you know? It's fun to create. You know, painting. Where are you going to put the paint? Where are you going to put the paintbrush? Where are you going to put the needle? What's next? How are you going to work with these colors and the fabric and the designs? Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Okay, and down the slope. Cute little awning going on here. Let's do that backing thing again. All right, so we're going to back into the awning, back to the building. All right, backwards. Boom. Boop. There we go. Okay, come back on the pink. Want to do this road. definitely want to go over this, right? All right. Let's keep going from this. So we'll do the top part of the road. All right, so we are gonna go around the hedgehog here. He's so cute. He's got this little smile and a little cheek. Oh boy, there's a challenge, isn't it? How are we gonna, then what are we gonna do after this? Don't worry about it. We're back to that making too many decisions here. Don't get too far ahead, Natalie. There we go. Such a cute little hedgehog. Alright, try to do a little, I'm going slow because I'm really trying to get as close to this little hedgehog's nose as I possibly can, because it will make it pop. You know, when you're drawing and you go back and you outline it in whatever color you're outlining it, it will make your drawing pop. Okay, let's get back to the road. All right, gotta go down this little triangle here. Oof. All right, so now we're back on the road. Now what? Huh. Okay, so now what? We want to get over here. All right, we're gonna go around. There's a tree right here, so we'll go around the tree. Kind of going around the leaves a little bit, but not too much. And let's come around the building. Been there before. And now we're going to go across the street. Come around we got the fire truck here. With a bear? Yeah, the bear's driving. So cute. You see the bear driving the fire truck? Oh, oh. Bear's driving a fire truck. Got a little tiny blue light on top of it. That's so cute. Whoop, there we go. There's that weird part where we're putting way too much fabric underneath. All right, let's come back this way. Now I'm right near some seams I've already done, so you see me not doing so much of the flat on this side because I'm really close to some other seams, so it's okay. I already know that I'm not folded over. However, let's make sure those flaps are up, which they are. Woo! Okay, let's pop this. Let's go give this a little snip. Let's see what we got. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. We got all the buildings outlined. Some bridges. So let's take a bigger look at this. There we go. Ta-da, ta-da. So you can go back, you can add, goodness. So you can go back and add around other things if you'd like to. No, but there we go. We've got, maybe if I show it to you right side up. So we came across the bridge right here. Right? Here's going around the houses. So, you know, it's not right on the line. You can see I didn't go right on the line, but that's okay, guys. It's okay. Might go back and do some more around the submarine. I think the submarine's kind of cool. But overall, here's what the whole thing looks like now. Ta-da-da, ta-da. And then on the back, we get a little closer on, we were around the buildings. Now you can do different color thread. If you wanted to do an invisible thread, you could do the same color, the blue, but I did white. So we've got our blueies everywhere. There you go. So we're gonna call this, we're gonna call this what? Another way to finish it. You didn't have to do that part. And I think the next one, I had an idea to show you how to do this as a quillo. So what a quillo is where you take the blanket and you make a little pocket. So you fold the blanket all up and then you can tuck it into the pocket, and that pocket makes the whole thing a pillow, or a quillo is what they call them. So I'm going to show you how to make a quillo with this guy. That's going to be the next video. So we got one more thing to do with this. Make it into a quillo. So variation. That's what I want to call it. A variation. All right, so we're good. So here we go. La la la. Thank you for joining me. Hope to see you next time. Bye. It's Natalie Starfish with Sherlock. Talk to you later. Bye.